We are looking at the Temple Mount, standing on the Mount of Olives. That Temple Mount is an area of great controversy. In 1967, Moshe Dayan, with the Jewish people conquering Jerusalem for the first time in 1897 years, went into the authorities that be in Israel and convinced them that it would be wiser to leave the Jordanian Muslims in charge of that mount. And it remains in that condition today. The Jordanian Muslims control the Temple Mount. That is very significant in Bible prophecy because there is a necessary peace agreement that will be signed according to Daniel 9:27, and it is a future prophecy concerning the Antichrist, which many of us have heard about that study prophetic scriptures. The Antichrist will come in and sign that peace treaty according to 2 Thessalonians 2, and halfway in the middle of the 7-year treaty that allows them to go back and use that Temple Mount, he will seat himself in the temple or tabernacle, and he will declare himself as being God. Now, the setup when 1967 was them allowing the Temple Mount to be in control of the Muslims. Now, to my left, to your right, there is an empty plaza on that Temple Mount. And there is plenty of room sitting there for a tabernacle to be placed up there. Several years ago, we were at the Temple Institute, and one of the guys in the Institute said something very strange to me, and I'm a student of Bible prophecy, and he said, we are ready to begin with what we have on hand, worship and sacrifice on the Temple Mount. I, being a Bible prophecy student, said, hey, what about the rebuilt temple? And he looked at our group and he said, what was the original temple? And a lady in our tour group spoke up and she said it was the Tabernacle of Moses. He said, that's right, it was a tent. He said, we have one made up, a 1-to-1 scale model in which we are retraining the priesthood. And he said, if we get that agreement, we're ready to put that thing up in about 2 or 3 hours. That is how close we are to Daniel 9:27 being fulfilled, and it's also indicating how close we might be to the emergence of the Antichrist. And as soon as we get there, 7 years later, Jesus' feet will touch this Mount of Olives, and he will take over and start to rule and reign in Jerusalem. We are here, and this is all in place, ready for the Antichrist and later Jesus Christ. I welcome him today.